Good evening and welcome inside Remax Field down in the usually beautiful Edmonton River Valley. I'm Tyler Yaremchuk. This is an ICU Video Productions Procast. It's Edmonton Prospects Baseball, and tonight the Prospects will be playing in Game 2 of their two-game set against the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Last night it was a long game stretching well over 3 hours, but it was the Prospects who came away with a very crucial win, 9-5 the final. That win pulled them within one game of the Mavericks for third spot in the division, and tonight they'll be looking to even things up as the season that comes down to a close. Only about 13 games remaining and teams are fighting for a playoff spot. It should be a thriller night, and to kick things off, we send it up to our broadcast duo, Al Coates and John Belmont.
All right, thank you very much, Tyler Yaremchuk. Good evening, everybody. As you see the demonstration of little kids' martial arts, I guess you'd call that. They're better athletes than I am, I can tell you that. To be exact, a 3-hour and 21-minute ball game last night. Pretty good crowd on hand, 2,293, a beautiful night. The crowd tonight will be considerably less. It's not a wonderful night. It's cool. The wind is blowing from the right to left, not in aid of the left-hand pull hitters, I would think. And the temperature is going to drop a little bit. We're probably in the high 50s centigrade or Fahrenheit as we speak. To be exact, it was 44 batters to the plate for the Prospects. They played at 9 runs on 14 hits. They did not commit an error in the game. They stranded 11 batters. A game that had a little bit of everything. Had some doubles, some good at-bats. They had some double steals, some hit and runs, some straight steals, and 9 runs on the board.
And a lot of bunts, and they did everything they needed to do on the field. They also played well defensively. Grayson Barrett, who had himself a very good game at first base, is back at first base tonight.
So it went into the books as a 9-5 win for the Prospects, and we have the highlights from last night's game. Game got underway at 8 minutes past 7 o'clock Mountain Time. Well, they're going to try and score the run. They didn't throw to home, and the run will come in to score. And the 1-2 pitch is raised out into right center field. That's got some carry. This is going to be a 1-1 ball game. That's a great at-bat for Gilboa. He's at second, makes the big wide turn. The cutoff man is Ratai. Here's the throw to third, and it's off target. And that'll be a triple and a run batted in for Bo Gilboa. Catching the ball with your bat.
That's right, and there is a...
This is going to bring in the run. That's a towering fly ball to straightaway center field. Freddie Walker runs in and under it. Ball not carrying that well up the middle here tonight. That left the bat with a little something on it. But it's a sacrifice fly, no time at bat, and a run batted in. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. He spanked that ball up the middle. It'll be a run-scoring single. It's Al Rodriguez with a nice sharp swing. He's quick with his wrist. He rolls him right through that hitting zone. Ground ball, fair at first base. Rodriguez dove for it. He couldn't get to it. That'll produce the run in the score, and the throw to second base, not in time. Blahovic makes it a tie ball game at 3. That might be deep enough to do it. We'll see. Ramirez is going to tag up. Fly ball up the middle. Freddie Walker there to make the catch. Cranks the arm up. It's going to be cut at the mound and not relayed in. And it was deep enough. Prospects take a lead of 4-3. Middle infield now to double play depth. There's another bunt. On the ground, it's a nice little push bunt. It'll be a sacrifice, which lets me to believe that he probably didn't know that play was on. There's an error to the pitcher as Stark throws the ball well outside of the target. And in to score on the E1 is Jake McDonald, D5 hitter. He's had a good night. Ball gets away from the catcher. Here's the throw to the plate. And in to score is Blahovic with that blazing speed.
And here he comes. And as soon as that ball's gone, they're telling these guys to go.
Ground ball to the right-hand side. That'll score the run. Maskell onto his left, picks it nicely onto the bag, and a run in to score. Works out of the set position, long stride home. Goes the pitch in the dirt. That'll probably score the run at will. That's going to be a wild pitch. Racing in from third base is Nolan Ratai. Wild pitch, and there's one away. And there's another wild pitch, and that's going to bring the run in. Third wild pitch here by Liam Rosebeek.
Yeah, right down in the door. I don't know about that one.
There hits a ground ball cleanly into right field. It should produce the run. Here's Jones with his throw to the plate. It'll be cut and not relayed. Davis Pratt comes in to score an insurance run. And there you see the martial arts performers as they've concluded their demonstration on the field of play tonight. Tonight's ball game will wrap up the homestand. Tomorrow's an off night. Prospects will be in Okotoks on Friday night, and back here Saturday night, Sunday afternoon against the Fort McMurray Giants. Now our mound matchup tonight feature a couple of right-handers, a couple of big right-handers. Jamin Cervantes will pitch tonight for the Mavericks, and Jesse Ponawazic, a big right-hander with the best earned run average on the pitching staff, will toe the rubber at 7:05 tonight here at Remax Field. Back onto the field to play in our pregame interviews.
With Prospects manager Jordan Blundell. Jordan, that win last night, to me, it looked like a complete game. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I thought we had to have a lot of things happen for us, and we had to do a lot of things as an offense and a defense, and at the end of it, we needed to make pitches. And, after Austin came out of the game and we kind of tiptoed around it, we were able to make some pitches when we needed.
Speaking of the offense, Pierce Blahoviuk has just been, or looked like a spark plug in that leadoff spot yesterday. How important is it to have that guy batting first really going, and how much does that spark the rest of the offense?
Well, one of the greatest players of all time is Ricky Henderson, and he's a leadoff guy. So when you have a kind of a pot stir, the guy that gets it going, stirs the drink type guy at the top, it makes things easier for everybody in the lineup. It's not going to happen every game, but Pierce has made an adjustment, and he's really kind of come into his own, and we're really happy for him.
I've loved watching your team all year because of that aggressiveness you guys have on the base pass, in the field, at the plate. When your team is going like that, and it's aggressive leads, it's stealing bases, is that a sign that you have a confident group?
Yeah, that's something that we talked about early on, and then even in the recruiting process of how we wanted to play as a team, and were you in or out on that? We're not going to change that. That's the way I like to watch baseball. It's the way I like my teams to play, and I think these guys, that's the way they like to play. So we're all on the same page. I don't have to do much. They're ready to do it. So it's sometimes fun for me to watch.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Tyler.
With Mavericks manager Tom Vasella. Tom, just simply, what was the difference in last night's game?
Edmonton came out and played tough. Truthfully, that's what happened. We had some opportunities, and we didn't take advantage of it. They had some opportunities, and they did. And they were able to put up 9 runs, and they scored more than us at the end of the day.
When I was talking to Jordan, we talked about the aggressiveness of the prospects, and that was on display yesterday. As a manager, is that something you're relaying onto your team, like, hey, we need to watch for these certain things, or is it just go out, play your game, and you'll stop it?
Well, I think in baseball you have to be aggressive, period. And, you have to be the one to set the tone, to dictate, and they did yesterday and we didn't. So as long as we come out there and be aggressive, I'd rather have 2 teams be aggressive and fight, and then the best team wins at the end. But if you're not, you're not going to be successful in this game.
Coming into the last night, you guys were 8-2 in your last 10. When you're on a roll like that, is it a bit easier for the guys to shake off one loss and just chalk it up as a bad one night maybe?
I hope so. We had the same thing happen to us. We had a tough loss to Okotoks one day when we lost in 17 innings, and we came back the next day and got a couple wins. So it's a real opportunity for us to see what kind of team we have, and we've responded well lately.
Jamin Cervantes on the bump for you guys. What can we expect to see from him?
He's a grinder. He throws strikes and has done really well lately, going deep into the game for us, really saved our bullpen. So I'm hoping for more of the same today.
Thanks, Tom.
Anytime.
Take a look at the umpiring crew for tonight's ball game, calling the balls and strikes. It'll be Darren DeKinder. Tyler Bourne, the umpire working at first base tonight. It'll be John Oko, the umpire at third. Scores last night from the Western Canada Baseball League. Melville defeated Brooks 5-3. Moose Jaw with a 12-3 victory over the Weyburn Beavers. Okotoks down the Yorkton Cardinals and Yorkton 6-5. Lethbridge over Fort McMurray 6-1. They did the Prospects a little bit of a favor, as the Prospects are now, at least for the moment, in a playoff spot. They're 21-22, 7-3 in their last 10 ball games. The Giants are in 5th spot with a record of 20 victories, 23 losses, 4-6 in their last 10, and they're 1 game out of a playoff spot. With a loss, Medicine Hat is still a plus 500 ball club at 22-21. The Lethbridge Bulls at 24-20. They're playing a 546 clip, but they trail the Okotoks Dogs, who are going to win the division, no question about that. They're 9.5 back. The Dogs at 33-10, 8-2 in their last 10 ball games, and they just never seem to lose. As a matter of fact, they're on the wings of a 6-game win streak. We'll take a timeout and return with more for you from Remax Field on ICU Video. Starting lineup now for the Medicine Hat Mavericks is penciled in by the field manager Tom Vasella. Leading it off and playing in left field, he's the league's hottest hitter, the best hitter in the league by average. He's hitting .353. Austin Soika leads things off. P.J. Garcia, the shortstop, will bat second. Nolan Ratai, the second baseman, will bat third in the order, and Big Sal Rodriguez draws into the cleanup spot. He'll be the DH tonight. Colton Wright will do the catching and bat fifth. Colin Klingensmith plays at third base, batting in the sixth spot of the order. Cameron Pope at first base bats seventh. Tito Jones will be the right fielder tonight. He'll hit eighth. And Freddie Walker is the center fielder, batting in the 9 position in the order. And pitching tonight, it'll be Jamin Cervantes, right-hand pitcher, on the bump for the Mavericks. Prospects line up this way, leading it off in left field, Pierce Blahoyek. Edgar Harrell is going to be a late substitution. He'll come into the ball game, play at third base. He'll bat second. Javier Ramirez is the shortstop tonight, batting third. And Bo Gilbo had a great night at the plate last night, pulled a couple of doubles. He'll bat in the cleanup position tonight, Bo Gilbo. Jake Geary behind the plate, batting fifth. Travis Hunt in the lineup tonight. He missed last night, nursing an injury. They'll be glad to have his bat back and his glove. He'll play in right field. Grayson Barrett is the first baseman this evening. He bats seventh, hitting eighth. In the lineup is the second baseman, Katsu Takahashi. And Tanner Roundy is the center fielder, and he'll bat ninth. The lineup is presented by the field manager, Jordan Blundell. And pitching tonight, it's Jesse Ponawazic. Best earned run average on the club with enough innings to qualify at 0.83, and I've seen him in relief. I've seen him once as a starter, and I've never seen him pitch badly.
No, he keeps the ball down. He moves it around. He changes speeds real well. Got a good breaking ball, good fastball, good slider.
So as we said, this game tonight with the Mavericks will wrap up the homestand. Tomorrow's an off day. They'll be in Okotoks for their final appearance of the regular season. That'll be on Friday night. And that big series on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon with the Fort McMurray Giants coming to town. That'll be the first 2 of 4 straight ball games with the Giants. Saturday night, Sunday afternoon here at Remax. Monday off, and then Tuesday, Wednesday next week at that beautiful ballpark at Shell Place, right on the Athabasca River, right smack dab in the middle of Fort McMurray. And that will kick off the 2-game series with the Fort McMurray Giants. As you see Jesse Ponawazic, he'll be coming on towards the mound as we get ready for the singing of our national anthem, and we're forecasting a start time tonight, maybe a little bit late, about 7:08 Martin time. And it's time now for the national anthems.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot's love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee run the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
A windy, cool night this evening at Remax Field as the Medicine Hat Mavericks try to rebound from a 9-5 loss at the hands of the Prospects last night. Pitching tonight for the Prospects, it'll be Jesse Ponawazic out of Spruce Grove, a 6'4", 210-pound right-hander who attends Okanagan College. I've pretty much seen 2 pitches out of this guy, and they're both money pitches, a breaking ball and a fastball. Ponawazic will appear in his 10th ball game of the season, and this will be his first start. 22 innings of pitching, 12 hits, and he has been nasty. Only 2 earned runs all season long. He's walked 5 batters. He struck out 16. No record with a save. And a 0.81 earned run average, best in the team, and he'd be right up there in the tops in the Western Canada Baseball League. Batters haven't had a lot to select off Jesse Ponawajits. They're hitting a collective 179. Now, baseball is a game infused with statistics, and for good reason. It's a statistical game, and he's got nice statistics.
He got very good stats, and the big thing he's got here, he's going up against a very good batting order, especially the top 4 of Medicine Hat.
Jake Geary behind the plate tonight. Edgar Harrell at third base. Barrett is over at first, and he was a clinic last night. A pitcher by trade. They threw him into first base on kind of an emergency basis due to injuries, and they put him right back in there tonight, and I don't blame him. He's not a natural first baseman. He catches left and he throws right, but he's a big target, and that's what you want on the first baseman. He dug the ball out of the dirt really nice last night. Going to have Ramirez and Takahashi as your double play Quinella. Ramirez the shortstop. Takahashi at second base. Here's Blahovic, starting left fielder tonight. Tanner Roundy is in center, and Travis Hunt is in right field. Ball game a little late getting underway tonight. 7:10 Mountain Time under less than ideal conditions. It's a cool night, a windy night, wind blowing from west to east in this ballpark. That's from right to left field, so not a good night for those big left-hand pull hitters to try to get the ball up in a jet stream. Monawazic throws the first pitch of the ball game. It's a curve ball down and away. From the windup, here's the 1-0 pitch and a hard ground ball up the middle. Ramirez gathers it in, going to his left onto the bag, and the throw is right on the money. 2 pitches and 1 away.
Now this is what Ponawajik does well. He keeps the ball down, therefore he gets a lot of ground balls.
P.J. Garcia, the batter, the shortstop. Joined the ball club about a month into the season. He was playing in the Collegiate World Series, and he pulled a hamstring. And there's only one thing that really repairs a hamstring or any of those muscle injuries, which baseball players tend to have more than injuries of strain. They have injuries of pulled muscle, and that's time. It just takes time to get rid of those injuries.
It sure does. You can't push it. If you push it, you make it worse.
He'll be fully back on the middle infield. Takahashi's going to play this guy to pull the ball. The pitch is there on 1 bounce to the plate. Count is even at a ball and a strike on P.J. Garcia. Garcia last night bounced out, got hit by a pitch. Knocked in a run with a fielder's choice. He came around to score. He got hit by a pitch again and scored. That was in the 7th inning, and he bounced out in the 9th. Count of 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter, P.J. Garcia. "22 innings, so I would think his arm is stretched out enough that he's really on his game. He could give you 5-6 good innings tonight. Normally a reliever, but he's in the starting blocks tonight. There he feels that number up to the right-hand side of the mound, underhands to the bag, and 2 ground ball outs to get things going.
Here's a case. He's nice and relaxed with it. Gets the toss to Barrett for the out.
Nolan Patai is the batter. Ratai, a .348 batsman. So you got a .353, a .307, and a .348 hitter to lead things off 3 in a row. If you get through this, I'm not going to say it's clear sailing, but it's
better sailing.
Going to make your night a little easier.
It sure is.
Fastball is down and away, 1 ball and no strikes.
Now the one thing we've seen, and of course it's just the first inning, but where Ponawajik has been out of the strike zone, it's been low.
Yeah, they got the batting average or the batting lineup a little different than a lot of clubs. Traditionally what you do is you put some speed in the front end, you got a little thunder in the middle, and who cares about the back end if the top 6 do their job. But here they've got some really good batters. I'm not saying they're not good runners, but they are good hitters. At the top end of the order, here's the kick in the 2-0 pitch. A strike on the inside half. Go to 2-1. Again, it is Darren DeKinder, the ball strike umpire tonight. Tyler Bourne is at first base, and John Oko works at third. Middle infield fully back. They're about midway on the corners. The outfield is straight away tonight. Ball's hit in the air into that quartering breeze. Hangs up there for Travis Hunt on the run in, and he makes a shoestring catch. And that will retire the side. That just about boomeranged that ball away from him.
It did. It caught up there, and they just see it sail back in toward the infield, and he had to put the Jets on at the end.
Zeros across here in the top half of the first inning. Prospects in the Mavericks from Remax Field and ICU Video. Starting pitcher tonight for the Mavericks, 6'2", 220-pound right-hander, a junior out of Minot State University, comes from one of my all-time favorite towns, a place they call the Old Pueblo, Tucson, Arizona. In fact, I like it better in Phoenix. It's not as big.
Well, I don't like it anywhere near as much as the Valley because that's where the University of Arizona is. And, we're kind of rivals of theirs.
All right, he's had a good year going. 8 starts, 3 complete games. And this guy has sucked up the innings, 49 2/3 innings of pitching this year. 53 hits, 31 runs, 26 earned, 21 base on balls, 32 strikeouts. Logs a 1-loss record of 3-3. Now, that's going to lead the team in decisions, and almost always the pitcher that leads the team in decisions leads the team in innings pitched at any level of baseball. Got a 4.71 earned run average. The league is batting .266. Here off Jamin Cervantes. Kicks that left leg up, cranks it up, and the pitch is nubbed foul. Brings the count around to 0-2. Colton Wright behind the plate. Kelling Smith at third base. Pope at first. Garcia the shortstop. Ratai at second. Austin Soika in left field. Freddie Walker in center. And Tito Jones tonight, the starting right fielder. Five other games underway tonight in the Western Canada Baseball League. Here's the pitch on the way from Cervantes, working right off the first base side of the pitching rubber. Lethbridge is in Fort McMurray tonight. Okotoks in Yorkton. Swift Current is in Weyburn. Regina and Moose Jaw tonight. About an hour's drive down the Trans-Canada Highway. And the Brooks Ball Club is in Melville to play the Millionaires. Breaking ball that broke late, broke down and away. Not real good spin or break on the pitch. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Blahowiak. Batting .257. And the 2-2 is on the way. On the fist and a bouncing ball to the left side. Garcia is there to grab it, and his throw is away off target. Have to get a look at that on replay, see where the runner was when the throw arrived. Probably a throwing error. He just humped up a little too much on it.
I would think he knew he had to hustle on it. Again, they know the speed of Blahowiak. So what do? They try to force the ball and had the bobble and then try to force the throw, overthrows it.
If we could get another look at that, because I got to think that Blahowiak was right at the bag.
It was close.
When the ball crossed the plane of the bag. Now, if that's the case, it's a hit.
Here comes the replay. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, I wished we had this 25 years ago when I was an official scorer. You had one crack at it. There he makes a little bit of a flub. He gathers it in. He sidearmed the ball.
There.
That's probably a hit.
I think so.
I think that's a hit.
He was there. They've marked it down as an error, but
and Edgar Harrell will be the batter up. He ran into trouble after he bobbled the ball. He didn't come straight over the top of his throw. He kind of threw from Laredo just under the belt. When you do that, your ball's going to sail on you.
it will, and I'm not sure how warm these fellows are. It's pretty cool out there tonight.
Killing Smith up wide of the bag at third, drawn back on the middle infield on Edgar Harrell. Davis Pratt was originally penciled in to start the game. He must have pulled something because a late substitution was made, and the pitch is too high. 2 balls and no strikes. Prospects, after a real cool start to the month of July, have picked it up a little bit. There's 7 victories and 3 losses in the last 10 games, as are the Lethbridge Bulls and the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Fort McMurray Giants went on a tough Saskatchewan trip and not playing near as good a ball. That should be 2. It's a bouncing ball to the left side. Garcia on to Ratai. He straddles the bag and the relay to first. Hard enough hit for an easy double play.
That ground ball had big handles on it, made a very easy play.
From a 260 hitter where he was parked for just about all the season in the last couple of weeks, this guy's been firing a bottle. He's brought his batting average up about 35 points. He's now hitting 300. And he had to work his tail off to get to 300.
He sure did early in the season. It was a very anemic batting average.
Here's the kick and the 0-1 from Cervantes. He splits the plate, but the pitch is below the knee. 1 ball and 1 strike. On the fist, and the ball is popped up foul and out of play, strike 2. And here's the 1-2 delivery. There's a little floater out into short right field up over the extended grasp of Ratai, the second baseman. He timed his jump pretty good, but it was just a little too high for him to get it.
Just got enough on it and get it over him.
That right there is textbook 2-strike hitting. Don't try to pull the ball, just slap it.
And this is the difference. If you remember early in the year where he had a home run and then he started trying to pull everything. And I think that really affected him. Now he's just hitting the ball where it's pitched.
A couple of doubles last night for this ball player, Bo Gilbo. Gilbo batting .203. And here's the pitch to him. He gives it a ride out into deep left field. Soika going back over towards the warning track. The ball is foul of the chalk. Not by much, but the wind took it a little bit.
It sure did. It sailed it. It looked like he was going to have a play on it early, and then it just kept sailing. Bo Gilbo's got pretty good power.
Here's the stretch. Here comes the 0-1. It's a fastball high and wide of the target. And the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Over in the Saskatchewan division, the Regina Red Sox. Pretty good chance now they're going to win the division. They're 30-12. And they've won 4 straight ball games. They're 8-2 in their last 10. There's a pitch on the outside block for a strike. Weyburn at 26-14, 3 games back. 4 victories, 6 losses in their last 10. Then it drops off. Swift Current at 28-16 are 3 games off the pace. Ramirez is on the way. Here's the throw, the slide, the tag, and he would have been out, but not holding on to the ball was the shortstop, Garcia. That was an excellent throw.
It was on
by
the
Colton
replay.
Wright.
Let's see if he kicks the ball out. I'm not sure whether he does or he just drops it. He just missed the throw. Looks like he closed his glove before the ball got there.
Throw was right on the money. It was just low, right out over the bag. So Ramirez takes the lead in scoring position. The pitch is a fastball high and away. Go to 3-2. Melville is 16-26. They won't make the playoffs. And the Yorkton Cardinals are finishing out what's been a tough old year. 4 victories, 38 losses. No way to sugarcoat that. There's a breaking ball, a swing and a miss, and that'll get it done. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. 1 inning done, and we are scoreless at Remax Field. Jesse Ponawazic in the first inning. Got 2 ground ball outs and a fly ball out into right. A fly ball that gave Travis Hunt all kind of fits. The ball was going to hang up. You knew that into that wind. And then it kind of boomeranged on him, and then Lady had to put on the Jets, lean down, and catch the ball right about at his knee. So the wind is perhaps going to give the outfielders all kinds of trouble here tonight. It's going to give the broadcasters all kinds of trouble too.
It's doing that right now. Well, the other thing that happened, Al, high pop-ups in the infield can be a real problem in this kind of wind. You got natural backspin on those anyway, and if the wind's blowing just the right way, it can wreak a lot of havoc with the fielders.
Sal Rodriguez, the batter, up at 283 hitter. 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in on the season. Here's the pitch to Sal, and it's a Fastball right down the barrel, strike one. First start of the year for Ponawasic with an outstanding earned run average of 0.81. Nice fluid mechanics, delivers. Tosses that one down and away.
Just missed on that pitch. Good pitch.
Next telecast coming your way on Saturday night, 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. With the Fort McMurray Giants in town. There could be some schedule changes coming up later in the year. It's not official yet, but just as quick as we have it officially, we'll announce it. Involving the Works Ball Club and 2 rained-out games last week right here at Remax Field. Lined up in the 2-1 delivery. Big overhand jug, a swing and a miss. 2-2. Nice big looping curveball.
A good ball right on the outside corner. The one that he missed early in this at bat. He came right back with it.
Infield just about fully back on the big batter. The pitch is a belt-high fastball. Actually, it's a chest-high fastball. Foul to the backstop. Colton Wright and Colin Klingensmith, the middle 3 of the order. Due up here for the Mavericks. Here's the 2-2 pitch, hit off the head of the bat, and it's a dribble foul at first base. Up in the big leagues tonight, Boston is in Tampa Bay. Colorado is in Washington tonight for a twin bill, a twilight doubleheader. Philadelphia at Detroit. The Oakland A's are in Houston. Cincinnati at Milwaukee. Baltimore tonight is in Arizona. The Texas Rangers at Safeco Field just off Interstate 5 in the Emerald City of Seattle. And here's the pitch. High hopper to Ramirez. Makes an easy catch. And the throw is on target, one away.
Again, you look at that ball, it's down and gets the high handle ground ball. Nice easy play for Ramirez.
Cubs are in San Francisco tonight. The Cardinals are at Pittsburgh. Cleveland is in Toronto to wrap up their series. Marcus Stroman on the mound tonight for the Blue Jays. What may very well be his final start with the trade deadline coming right up. You probably get something pretty good for Marcus Stroman.
You would hope so.
Hard thrower, pretty good breaking ball. And the pitch is down the middle for a strike. San Diego plays the New York Mets tonight. Kansas City is in Atlanta. The Yankees are in Minnesota. And the Freeway Series, the Los Angeles Angels up the road to play the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium tonight. Trout put on a show there last night. He has got power to spare. The breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out. Bases empty. Colton Wright, the catcher. 268 batter standing in. Would be the least bit surprised we get a little moisture coming up here. Bouncing ball up the middle. A little Takahashi there to grab it. He might be struggling with the pole, but not with the leather. He's a good little fielder.
This is a nice play by him. He has to charge, and of course, now he has to get the ball across immediately, and it's right on the money. No hesitation.
Colin Klingensmith will be the batter up, the third baseman. Got a nice year going. He's batting .313. 5 up, 5 down for Ponawasic as the big left-hander strides home. Pitch is in there low, 1 ball and no strikes. 3 ground ball outs, 4 ground ball outs, and 1 pop fly. Throws a dart that misses the outside block. Ball 2, strike none. Just under 2,200 here last night. What a beautiful night. It was warm. And not only was it a nice ball game to watch on the ride home, I got a really nice fireworks show. The lightning was in that western sky last night, I'll tell you.
It was really popping, wasn't it?
And violent.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of ammonia put into fields last night. A lot of ozone.
Ponawasic rocks on the rubber, and the 3-0. The automatic is in and over for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike on the batter. Cameron Pope, the first baseman, sits in the on-deck circle. And the pitch. Down and away, ball 4.
He just misses on this pitch. Pretty good pitch.
There you get a look at the sky from our press box camera, and it looks kind of moist. In fact, we are starting to get a drizzle of rain.
Fans are moving up in the stands. Get under the overhang.
From the set position, here's the pitch, and it's a strike to the outside corner. 0-1.
One thing about Jesse Ponawazek compared to other pitchers like Hunter Boyd, Darren Holton, Trevor Burke, he is more methodical on the mound. He doesn't work as quick.
Works from a straight overhand delivery, and that pitch must have missed low because it was in the horizontal strike zone, put it that way, within the 18 inches from the end of the outside half of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
When you look from the center field camera, that wind and rain out there is really blowing across the field.
Breaking pitch down and away, ball 2, strike 1. We had an outstanding 1 minute of electronic journalism last night. We showed you what the grounds crew had to put up with last week, and hopefully sometime tonight we can show that picture to you again. I've seen rain and I've seen grounds crew guys work hard. There's only 2 guys on this crew.
Yeah, they do a wonderful job.
Fastball is high. There's the throw back to first base.
Nice play on that again by Grayson Barrett. Had to scoop that low throw from Jake Gary. And that ball's got to be getting a little slick too, Al.
Pitch is low. We go to ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued here by Ponawazich. There he mechanically wasn't where he wanted to be. His release point, he released the ball a little bit too late.
Jake Gary going out to talk to him a little bit and get a couple of things straight out. They're going to pitch to this batter.
Tito Jones will be the hitter. He is batting an even .300 on the year. Came in last night as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning.
With 2 out, just want to work on the batter, be concerned with him, and I'm sure that's what Jake Gary was talking to Jesse about.
The wind is, as I said, blowing from right field to left, but the rain itself is pointed from the south to the north, so it's hitting the window right out in front of us. And that's the direction of the rain coming in here at the ballpark. Not ideal conditions. Throw back to Ramirez. Goes off his glove and into center field. There'll be no throw, and there'll be an error charge to Ponawazich. Let's get a look at it again.
The error will be on Jake Gary, I think, on that.
Yep, that's the rules. E2. So you have men at first and third base. Kind of 1 ball and 1 strike on a little left-handed batter, Tito Jones. Ponawazich is ready, and here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball low. We do have an interruption in the play tonight. They'll wait a long time. This is the last time these 2 teams will see each other this season. You've got to try your best to get them in.
And they'll do everything in their power to get it done.
2-1 delivery is a fastball, and it's flared foul back upstairs and off to the left. Well, Wazich had 2 ground ball outs, and things were moving right along up into a couple of base on balls. And then a throwing error puts men at first and third base here in the top half of the 2nd inning. 9-5 Prospect victory last night. And the 2-2 delivery. Jake Gary had to abandon his crouch and body block the pitch. Matt Erickson picked up the win last night in relief. Record improves to 2-2. Went an inning in 2/3, 2 earned runs on One hit with 3 strikeouts, the starter, Austin Kennedy. Didn't quite get the 5 innings in required. He went a 4 2/3 inning distance for a no decision.
He pitched pretty well in that game for the first 4 innings.
Cameron Pope will be off and running with the pitch. The ball is put into play. Takahashi there to catch it. And he'll throw it on to first base to retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 men left on base. 1.5 innings in the books tonight. No score in the ball game on ICU video. There you see the southwestern sky tonight. It does look a little bit moist. This is the earliest I've seen the lights turned on for a night game in Edmonton in quite a spell. I'm not sure it's going to help. So the rain is coming down a little bit. It's a cool night. The temperature today at its best was in the high 70s Fahrenheit, but after 6 o'clock it went abruptly south.
It dropped dramatically. Out here about 3:30, and Katsu Takahashi was out running laps, and beautiful day.
There's a changeup, and he whistled that ball out of this ballpark, but foul of the pole. Changeup and a good one. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that's such a good point, Al. You get a good change like that, say, wow, he really hit it hard. And that's right, but he got out in front of it because of the change, and it's just a big strike.
Cervantes with a long stride home. The pitch is a breaking ball. He turned it over, and he misses down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. I wouldn't think really ideal pitching conditions here tonight.
No, and hard to keep your arm warm. That was a very good breaking ball by Cervantes.
Gary hitting .315, and there he got a ball right in on his fist, and that hand of his is going to feel like a vibrator. That's going to hurt a little bit. He hits a 1-hopper. Here you get a look at that. That's right in on the hands. On a cool night, you're going to get bees in the bat.
It is, and a very nice play by the shortstop and the first baseman. Good stretch by the first baseman to make the play.
Travis Hunt got banged up a little bit in the series down in Lethbridge. They gave him last night off. And Hunt batting .325. As I said, just a really nice season for the prospects. He was the All-Star Game MVP. Fastball in on his hands. He swung at it and he fouled it back. Wound up here by Cervantes, the pitch. And there's another fastball fouled away. 2 fastballs, both of them in the strike zone. He'll come back now with a breaking ball.
His breaking ball has been very effective first inning and so far in this one.
And the kick and the 2-strike pitch. Threw him another fastball. A steady diet of fastballs on the middle half of the plate in.
Maybe that's they believe how they can handle Travis Hunt the best. Keep it in on the hands, keep it fast. What you don't want to do is get the ball in the middle to outside part of the plate with Hunt with a fastball.
Dropped a curveball and he missed inside with it. So he did throw the breaking pitch. I expected it might have been something away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garcia and Ratai, the shortstop and second baseman respectively. Kelling Smith is at third. Pope tonight playing at first base. Soika, Walker, and Jones left to right in the outfield. Another one was popped up foul back towards the seating area and up on the roof here at Remax Field.
That was a good breaking ball. Got down and over the outer part of the plate. It's got to be getting a little damp out there in the field right now, Al. Coming down pretty good.
We're at a 2 ball, 2 strike count with 1 gone. Here in the bottom of 2, the ball game is about 35 minutes in. Hope we don't have anything planned tonight. It's going to be a long night at the ballpark.
As long as last night's was, I think this would be quite a bit longer.
Count will run full. Again, tomorrow's an off day, Friday night. Prospects will go back into a very stingy ballpark. It's not easy to get victories against the Dogs at any time. They're even tougher at home. They were really drawing well this year. Really nice per game average in that beautiful park, south end of Okotoks.
I think they've had some pretty good weather down there for their games.
They've had some rain too. Just comes to that old adage, build it and they will come. They built that park and they have come. They've got a great deal of support from the city of Calgary ball fans. That it's only about a 35-minute drive from the south end of Calgary. In fact, that's where the Dogs started. They were the Calgary Dogs.
And if you get down there, and Okotoks, High River, that area is pretty country down there.
Jamin Cervantes, 6'2" right-hander from Tucson, Arizona, kicks and deals. Ground ball hit right to the shortstop. And this is Garcia. Airmails it on to first base. There's 2 away.
Hard hit ball. Ball on the inside part of the plate, similar to what they threw to Jake Gary. Nice throw.
Grayson Barrett with a batting average that doesn't look all that good, 167, but you'd have never known it last night. He had a pair of doubles and a run-scoring single. All 3 times he pulled the ball into right field, scored 2 runs, and a run batted in. There he took a swing from the heels at the high curve ball, and it's 0-2. Big upper deck swing. The windup and the 1-2 delivery. Grayson Barrett checks the swing on a breaking ball away. No appeal on the play. Didn't come near to coming around on it. Javier Ramirez with a lone hit for the Prospects tonight. He punched a 2-out single into right field. Stole second and he got no further. Cervantes delivers. Not real sharp of that breaking pitch. He's normally got a pretty good one.
I think it's a little tough throwing the breaking ball tonight, getting the grip right.
As I said, he has eaten up a lot of innings for this ball club. He's probably got a rubber arm. His 9th start, 3 complete games, 49 and 2/3 innings of pitching. So he's now into his 51st inning of pitching on the year. Long fly ball foul down the left side, not a play.
And again, that wind caught it and drove her right out off the third baseline.
3 wins and 3 losses. 4.71 earned run average, and the Western Canada League is batting .266 off Jamin Cervantes. Here's the full count delivery, slow curve, half swing, not held cleanly. Colton Wright with the throw up the line, and that'll do it. A strikeout for the pitcher, an assist for the catcher, and a put out for the first baseman. Tried to hold up on that big slow deuce.
Makes no medicine have errors and no runners left on base. If you have a child with you or you're a child at heart, make sure you're at the ball game.
Zeros across, and we're through 2 innings. In a scoreless ball game, Tyler Yaremchuk, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm braving the this Prospects team, they've had a lot of different players step up at different points throughout the season and really deliver some really good stretches of baseball. And right now, Javier Ramirez is on one of those stretches. We saw him yesterday, real good with the bat and in the field as well. He made some great plays, including one in the 9th that was almost jaw-dropping the way he made it. And tonight, again, he's made a good play from deep in the hole at shortstop. He's got the team's lone hit. When I compared his first 20 games of the season to his last 20 games, the stretch he's currently on, the difference is quite remarkable. In those first 20 games, he had just 2 multi-hit games. In these last 20, he's had 7. In the first 20 games, he only stole 4 bases. He struck out in 15 of those 20 games. In these last 20, he's stolen 7 bases. He's only struck out in 10. The wind's picking up a little bit here, and so is the play of Javi Ramirez. He's been incredible to watch. And one other thing to watch here tonight as we continue on is the weather a little bit here. The rain is starting to come down a little bit harder, and as you can tell by my umbrella, that wind is picking up as well. Back up to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. And Freddie Walker, the 9-hole batter, will lead things off here in the third inning as the rain continues to come down, not at the fever pitch that it did last week at the 2 rained-out ball games. It's not a fine mist either. It's a prairie rainstorm. But if they can get 5 innings in tonight and have somebody in the lead, that might be what it ends up being.
Could very well be, and of course that is the rules. You get through 5, they can call it. But as you said earlier, Al, they have to get this in. Last time they meet this year.
Walker batting .254 on the season. Be the 9-hitter and then the 1 and the 2 batters. So you want to work on Walker. You want him on base with the league's best hitter in the on-deck circle. That's the .353 bat of Austin Soika. Breaking ball is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Wind up by Panawazic to the pitch, and he's in the strike zone.
Now, Panawazic has thrown a lot of pitches in the first 2 innings. Threw 34 pitches. Only 16 of those were for strikes.
Ball belted out into right field. And that's a catchable ball. Travis Hunt drifts back, puts leather on it, and you got 1 away. Soika ground out his first time along, as you see Travis Hunt getting this one on radar. Ball hit his way this season. I haven't seen one that should have been caught that wasn't caught.
Oh, he plays them pretty well. And that was a little bit tough. The way the wind's blowing, even on a line drive, it can make it scoot a little bit in the air. So you have to be very careful. He makes it look easy.
Pitch outside, ball 1. Soika shows the bunt. Wind up by the big right-hander. Here comes the pitch on the way. It's off the head of the bat. And the ball's fouled off to the right-hand side and into the seats. There'll be a Rawlings souvenir, Western Canada Baseball League official ball for some youngster, and he's got it, and he's a happy camper. You know what he should do with that ball? When he gets home or the next day, play catch with it.
Absolutely.
Don't put it away.
No.
You got a free one. Pitch inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Remember, as kids come to this ballpark, and of course the summer league going on, and boy, those baseballs were gold. You got them, you played with them till there was nothing left of them.
Kick in the 2-1 delivery. Breaking pitch. That misses low in the strike zone, 3-1. They're on Austin Soika. Hard ground ball back up the middle. Won't be a play for Takahashi to his right. That ball skipped off the surface, the top of the mound, picked up a little bit of speed. That ball's kissed pretty good.
It was a good hard hit ball. And Takahashi did his best to get there, but couldn't quite get there.
.307 batter, P.J. Garcia. He had kind of a rough night. He got hit by a pitch twice in the ball game. Reached base in the fielder's choice, knocked in a run. He came around to score twice, and he ground out twice. Prospect pitching was pretty good last night as the pitch is foul tip, strike 1.
It was. Lawson Kennedy had a good 4 innings, good solid 4 innings. In the 5th, had a little bit of struggle. And then the relievers that came in did a pretty good job. I think Matt Erickson got the win, did he not?
Yeah, the left-hander out of the relief pen picked up the victory.
Looked like he was going to struggle, and then he settled right down.
Short in the middle infield, up now to a double play depth. The pitch, a cut on it. And it's fouled and held by the catcher, Jake Geary, strike 2. There's a strike on the outside corner. He vapor locked the batter with a pitch over the outside block of the plate. Let's get a look at that. It's a fastball. It's in the zone, right in the rectangle.
He didn't get better than that. And there's a case where his fastball was really moving and tailed a little bit at the end. Very good pitch.
Right fielder Nolan Ratai will be the batter. We've got the second baseman, Nolan Ratai. And Ponawasic's ready to go from an overhand delivery. The ball is bounced up the middle off the glove of Ramirez and into center field, and we'll have men at first and third base. Hard hit ground ball. They started the runner, so Soika on the front end of that hit and run play will advance an extra 90 feet.
Now the interesting thing with that, with Ramirez just got his glove on it, deflected enough on the angle. If he had not deflected it, the runner probably would not have got to third base. He would have had a play. Roundy was in perfect position. He had to change direction to get that deflection. That's baseball.
Here's the pitch to Rodriguez. And it's a strike at the knee, 0-1. Saturday night, our next telecast, 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. The Giants from Fort McMurray in here Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Saturday night will be the first of 4 games between those two clubs in 5 days. It's a strike 1 pitch. It's down and away. Giants 20-23, playing .465 baseball. And they've run into some uncharted water. They've lost 5 straight ball games, find themselves with 4 victories and 6 losses in their last 10. But they are, no matter what happens, a far better ball club this year than they have been their first 2 years. There's a high pop-up, long run in for Travis Hunt. He's there to make the catch. That'll retire the set. And again, that wind playing tricks on the outfielders. That ball just hit an invisible wall. Look at that.
It does. Nice adjustment by Travis Hunt. He had it all the way.
No runs and a pair of hits and 2 men left on board as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Bottom half of the 3rd, and Katsu Takahashi. Switch hitting second baseman. He double pumps on the pitch and takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Hitting 125 is a right-handed batter. Considerably less from the port side of the plate. And there he slaps the ball into play. A little dribbler off to Ratai, the second baseman. One thing he can do, though, is he can run. He made that a close play at the bag. Look at this.
He can. He's got
not a very hard hit ball, but look at him motor now.
He's got very good speed.
Tanner Roundy, the center fielder, is the batter.
And Tanner's been struggling at the plate.
Popped up, he flied out, he struck out, and he dropped down a sacrifice bunt last night. There he shows the bunt, and he takes a strike.
With his speed, wouldn't be a bad idea laying a bunt down to get on base.
There he's going to get himself a knock as he shortened the swing up, and he hits a bleeder out into right field for a base hit.
Now there was the ball a little by the inside of the plate, but he had a good compact swing, got the bat around.
Blahoyek will be the batter up. Reached base on an error his first time along. Throwing error to the shortstop Garcia. Runner goes right out of the crouch, guns it down to second base. Throw was there on a bounce, but so was the runner, and that'll be a stolen base.
Good jump by Roundy, and he can move. He really eats up the turf. Would have had to have been a perfect throw.
And here's the 1-0 delivery. Curveball low. 1 ball. Now make that 2 balls and no strikes. Here from Jamin Cervantes, who has just eaten up innings this year for the Medicine Hat Club.
And
Be over 50 innings pitched by the time he's done here tonight, I would think.
And how valuable is that for a ball club, Al?
Well, he's like Hunter Boyd is with the prospects.
Yeah.
Every night out, he's getting you into the 8th, 9th inning, but not a lot of runs on the board.
Yeah, it saves your bullpen.
Cervantes delivers, and his fastball is under the chin, ball 4, and that'll set the table for maybe a potential double steal. You've got speed at first, you got speed at second.
You've got that, and you also have a young man that can bunt. Harrell is a good all-around ball player. Handles the bat pretty well. You can also look at hit and run here.
Harrell ground out his first time through. Late substitution tonight. Davis Pratt was penciled in at third base in the 2-hole, but he obviously has come up a little bit lame. First pitch is a strike, 0-1.
Good breaking ball by Cervantes for the first strike.
That ball is going to knock in a run. That one is a rope hit out into left center field. Freddie Walker, nicely done, comes over to field the ball on 1 bounce. And the Prospects put a run on the board on a base hit by Edgar Harrell, and he tattooed this one.
He drilled it. Again, the ball a little bit on the inside, and he just got around on it and hit her into the gap.
Run scoring single for Harrell. And Javier Ramirez, who punched the single into right field his first time through, will be the batter. That shows you the value of that steal of second base. That's why the run came in to score.
Yeah.
You just heard the last inning or so ago just how Ramirez has come along here in the last few weeks. Seeing the ball better. I don't know why, but looks like a comfortable hitter at the plate.
He does. Where early in the season he did not look comfortable, forcing things, and got a much more compact swing now.
Other games tonight in the league, we've got Lethbridge at Fort McMurray, Okotoks and Yorkton, Swift Current and Weyburn. Regina tonight will be in Moose Jaw to play the Miller Express. And Brooks is in Melville. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. 2 on in the inning.
Real good pitch on this. You're watching the replay. He drops it off. Very nice pitch.
Gilbo struck out his first time along. Looks at a 1 ball, no strike count. Pickoff throw to first. If it doesn't get any worse than this, they'll probably get at least 5 innings in here tonight.
I think they would play it through, exactly.
And the pitch to Gilbo is down and away. Medicine Hat tonight, as you can see, with their crimson trim and their road grays. Prospects with their home whites, white top, gold and black trim. And the 2-0 pitch. Hit off the head of the bat, a little flare out in the left field, and that ball is.
Oh, shit, they're going to get him.
Going to get.
Look at this. Edgar stumbled coming around, and that's one of those things that happens. Nice little Texas leaguer, just lofted it over the short side. Watch Harold come around, and he just slips.
But the run will come in to score. So that's a base hit, a run batted in. And the put out will go 7-4, I do believe.
I believe you're right.
2 runs come in to score. On the pair of hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. A lead at 2 for the Prospects as we head to the 4th inning on ICU video. There's the center field camera, the excellent shot that you see for the large portion of our telecast here this season, located just to the left of straightaway center field. And Ponawazich with a 2-run spot going to work here in the 4th inning. Your vehicle ready for summer, visit your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today for a full synthetic oil change and a $100 travel credit towards hotels, car rentals, and a whole lot more. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving all summer long. Colton Wright will be the leadoff batter. 0 for 1 tonight, a .268 batsman on the season. Ponawazich draws a beat on the target, kicks that left leg up in the pitch. The shortstop Ramirez, and he can't make the play. He'll get charged with an error.
There's a case, we talk about this once in a while with Javier. He nonchalants the ball. He doesn't attack it and just figures he'll make the play easily. Ends up with an error.
Klingon Smith drew a base on ball, got as far as 3rd, and he got no further. Back in the 2nd inning.
The Prospects at double play depth.
And the pitch. High hopper back up the middle. Back Ashe, he comes over, and he can't put leather on it. That won't be an error. That is a hit, and that'll put men at 1st and 3rd.
And that's just 2 pitches.
Yeah, he gets 2 batters to roll over on ground balls, but that's a pretty tough chance.
That was a tough one. They had to be moving and get it at speed.
Cameron Cope is the batter. Pope tonight. He will walk his first time through. Well, the most part, if you're a pitcher that gets ground balls, more times out of not, you're going to be in the money than not in the money. Here there's 2 ground balls, one that should have been caught, one that didn't get caught. But most of the time, if you're getting ground balls, you're throwing strikes.
Exactly.
And the averages say you're probably going to do all right.
Here's that play from the center field camera. Well, you don't get to see it with Takahashi. He just missed it. But, yeah, get the ground balls. That's what you want. Now here, if you get the ground balls, they'll go for the double play. We'll see if there's a play on this. That ball might come back in. Nope. But a ground ball now, Al, they won't worry about the play at home. They'll take the double play. Get 2 out. Unless it's a hard shot at 3rd base where they can freeze the runner.
Just saw the highlight reels from 2 nights ago in the big leagues. A triple play was scored. A ground ball down to 3rd. 3rd baseman touched 3rd base, threw to 2nd for the 2nd out, and the relay to 1st. So it wasn't an unassisted triple play, but how often do you see those?
You very seldom see them. That was a really well executed triple play too, wasn't it? And the ball was hit just right where it had to be.
That pretty much has to be.
Yeah.
That ball hit off the head of the bat. They won't get 2, but they should get an out, and the run will come in to score. Takahashi ranges onto his right. And on to score an unearned run is Colton Wright.
Again, actually, this works out well for Medicine Hat. He hit it to the right side, did not get the double play. You get a man in scoring position with only one out. One run in.
Batter up will be Tito Jones. Playing out in right field tonight for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Out of Western Oklahoma State College. 5'9", 155 pounder. Ponawazic's ready. Here's the pitch and a bullet hit into left field. Won't be caught on the fly. Blahovic couldn't put leather on it. He's got to field that ball. It goes by him all the way to the wall. Run's going to score. That'll be a 3-base error charged to Blahovic. We are back to a tie ball game.
We are, and this was a ball that definitely should have been fielded. Misjudged it. Got by him.
That's an E7 with a run batted in. The man at third base. Freddie Walker, the center fielder, is the batter.
Now here's a case where Ponawazik is actually pitching pretty well. These aren't real hard hit balls except for that one. You've had two, one that got by in second base and one that was an error on the shortstop.
Actually, going to have to change. That's going to be a hit and an error. That ball you can't assume is going to get caught.
No, that's true.
So that's a hit and a 2-base error. Freddie Walker, the batter, flew right field his first time through, fly to right. One gone in the inning. 2 runs have scored. Pitch is out in front of Jake Geary. He lost sight of it momentarily.
If you're going to lose sight of it, that's where you want it, out in front of you. Now, Gary does a nice job blocking the plate usually, and he did a good job there. Lost the ball really in his glove to begin with, and then it popped in front of him.
Both runs for the moment are now unearned runs. Now the second run could become an earned run with a base hit. Tito Jones with a short lead off at third base in foul territory. He's going to come in to score. That will become an earned run on the base hit by Freddie Walker.
Good solid hit. Ball out over the plate. Just hit it where it was pitched.
Martin Soika, the league's best hitter. 353 batsman, the batter. As you see the Mavericks, they're cold, but they're happy. Up by a run here in the top of the 4th inning. Soika, the 6th batter to the plate here in the inning. Ponawazic throws the curveball strike, 0-1.
Now we're starting to see a little movement in the prospects bullpen. Just start throwing a little catch, I would think.
Up high with a fastball. First start of the year for Ponawazic. He has been pretty much exclusively in relief, middle relief, short relief. And the 1-1 pitch. That's in the dirt ball, 2. Gone from an absolutely sublime night last night, a hot day yesterday, and just a nice warm night last night, but not tonight.
Oh,
and the pitch is right back to Ponawazic. He gets nailed with it. He's up on his legs, but he got cranked on that pitch. The ball caroms out into right field. That'll be an infield hit.
took that right, and they had that.
He's going to get immediate attention. Look at that. Oh, don't show that again. That's not good. Ponowazic is down. He's going to get attention. And as they do that, I think we'll take a timeout. And we've got a 3-2 ball game. The Medicine Hat Mavericks are in the lead. You're watching Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. New pitcher coming into the ball game will be Zach Harrington. And he's going to get all the time he needs to get loose on a situation like that where he comes in with an injury. We're happy to report that Ponowazic got up and pretty much walked off the field on his own steam. That's why, though, they call that piece of real estate between the pitcher's plate and home plate the gun barrel. That's how fast it comes back on you. Well, he might have got nailed right on the ear.
It looks like he's in the ear, in the temple. One positive was he was turning away as he got hit. Absorbed some of that hit.
Incomplete totals on Ponowazic tonight. He works a 3 2/3 inning distance. Walked 2 batters. Struck out 1. He's going to be on the hook for a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 runs, depending on how Harrington does here in the 4th inning. Just an ugly night of the ballpark. There you see the wind blowing off the jersey top of the new pitcher, Zach Harrington.
Now, Harrington has a pretty good fastball, throw both 4-seam and 2-seam. He's got a good slider and a fair breaking ball. He will throw the circle change.
Magnolia, Arkansas ball player, 5'10", 170 pounds. Texas A&M Texarkana campus for Zach Harrington. He'll make his 13th relief appearance. 24 1/3 innings, 36 hits. 16 runs, 13 earned runs. Walked 7, he struck out 17 batters. Got 3 wins, 2 losses on the year, no saves, and a 5.28 earned run average. Coming in here on short notice as Jesse Ponowazic was hit with a line drive off the bat of Austin Soika, his 2nd hit of the night. And that ball comes off his bat at warp speed.
It really does, and if you're turned at all and you don't pick it up immediately, it seems like when you do pick it up, it's right there. Hard to see, and you just hope he's going to be all right.
So men at first and third base, 3 runs have come in to score. 1 run is an unearned run, 2 runs are now earned runs. Down and away with the first pitch from Zach Harrington. Double play depth up the middle, and then they're going to have the third baseman Barrett about midway at third base. Soika widens out a pretty healthy lead at first. Count even a ball and a strike. All game at the 1 hour and 10-minute mark. Here in the top of 4. Pitches belt high and on the inside block, 1-2. Stretch the pitch and a ground ball to the left side. It's Ramirez onto Takahashi, off the bag on to first. Not in time for the double play, and the run will come in to score. Made a quick turn on it.
Good quick turn. Takahashi, he threw it a little high, and just good hustle by the runner. Get down there. That was a slow hit ball. It wasn't hard. Wasn't the easiest one to double up. Good hustle by the batter.
Nelson Ratai will be the hitter. Let me get a 4-2 ball game. That's a fielder's choice and a run batted in for Garcia. A strike to the outside corner, 0-1. Ratai batting .348. 1 for 2 on the night. Bouncing ball that hits the bag at third base, bounces over the head of Harrell. That's going to be a fair ball. That'll be a single, and you got men at first and second base. Hit the bag. Nothing you can do about that.
We've seen some weird bounces the last 2 nights. That one, good hard hit ball down the line.
Brooks Robinson would not have fielded that one.
No.
That's about all he wouldn't have fielded in his prime, but not that one. And Sal Rodriguez will be the batter, and they're going to bat around here in the top half of the 4th inning. 2 errors of the inning by the prospects, one by the shortstop Ramirez, the other one by the left fielder Blahovic. Runners aboard, Ratai at first base. P.J. Garcia takes his lead at second. There's a breaking pitch, and it's in and over. Strike 1. Rain has kind of subsided here in the 4th inning. The 0-1 delivery and a ground ball down to third. Harrell is up with it. The runners are moving, and the throw is on time across the diamond. Rodriguez is going to get erased, and that will retire the side. They bat around here in the 4th inning. They score 4 runs, 3 earned runs. None on 4 hits, 2 errors, 2 men left on base. 3.5 innings in the books. It's a 4-2 Medicine Hat lead, and Tyler, take it away.
Thanks, guys. As you saw in that last half inning, a lot of bad luck. You saw a ball hit the bag. It allowed the Mavericks to bat around. They put up a lot of runs. Also in that inning, Jesse Ponowazik was hit with a line drive comebacker. Obviously, as you saw, he was slow to get up. He was slow to get to the locker room as well. The medical staff was quick in there, however. The official word from the team is simply that he's being reevaluated at this point. We'll have more word on him later on in the game. While that was going on, though, down the third baseline, third base coach for the Mavericks, Falan Latini, said he didn't see that Ponowazik was down. He was sending the runner home. That was something the prospects didn't necessarily like. It led to about a 3-minute war of words between a handful of prospects and the third base coach of the Mavericks. They were really going at it. Can't exactly say what they said on the broadcast, but this game is obviously continuing, and don't be surprised if you see some more fireworks as we continue. The umpire had to step in as well at one point to stop anything else from escalating. So definitely something to keep an eye on as we roll forward here.
Well, what's got to happen there is as soon as Ponowazik is hit by the line drive, time is called. It's going to be a base hit.
That's right, and then everything stops at that point.
The batter gets first base, and that's, I mean, if the ball hits an obstruction in the field and bounces, that's another story. But
yeah.
And Jake Geary will be the batter to lead it off. A bounce out his first time along. So the line totals for Ponowazik tonight: 3 2/3 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 base on balls. The line totals for the top of the 4th: 4 runs, 3 earned on 6 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left on base.
Takes the first pitch and pops it up. Right in on the hands.
Travis Hunt, the batter. We're in the middle part of the Edmonton order here in the last half of the 4th inning. Second game of the quick 2-game homestand. 9-5 Edmonton victory last night. Medicine Hat will move home. The prospects with an off day tomorrow. Into Okotoks for a single game on Friday night. There's a rim service fly ball up the middle, and an easy play for Freddie Walker, 2 away.
2 pitches, 2 fly balls. This is making it very easy on Jamin Cervantes. Grayson Barrett up, struck out his first time. Takes a call first strike on the first pitch.
The 0-1 delivery, threw him a strike. It is flared foul off the left side. Now to play, strike 2 on the batter. 2 out, and the base is empty here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the pitch. There he just threw a dart and he threw it outside. Barrett struck out swinging his last time up. Cervantes threw him a strike and he took a cut at it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Prospects trying to get that elusive 500 mark. They've flirted with the 500 record for a few weeks. Came into play tonight at 21-22. And there he just threw the old high hard one. He just flat out blew it by him.
He sure did.
And that is strikeout number 4. That'll do it for the Prospects here in the last half of 4. It's a 4-2 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks on ICU video. Colton Wright will be the leadoff batter. He tonight is 1 for 2. Nine batters to the plate in the 4th, and Wright was the man who started it off. Colin Klingensmith and Cameron Pope due up here for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Zach Harrington is ready, and he throws the first pitch strike. I think it was a little slider that he threw to the batter.
A little bit of movement on it.
Wright puts the ball into play. It's a hard ground ball between short and third for a leadoff single.
Got the ball out over the plate. He pulled it real well into the gap.
Klingensmith tonight drew a base on ball. He went to third on an error, got no further in the 2nd inning. Did a base hit up the middle, came around to score in the 4-run 4th inning. And here comes the pitch to him, high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. A couple of weeks post the All-Star break, so take a look at the standings in the major leagues of baseball. These are things that are going to tell you a little bit about who's doing what in the big leagues. This ball is shot out into left field, and it's going to be played on a bounce by Blahoek, men at first and second. Not really sure there's much else he could do with that but play it on a hop. He does not want 2 balls to get by him tonight.
No, and if he charged that, and he might have made the catch, but if he doesn't, it could very easily have been a run.
Cameron Pope drew a base on ball, and he bounced out to second base and knocked in a run. Yankees at 64-35 playing in Minnesota tonight. But they've got the big lead in the Eastern Division of the American League, 9.5 games on both Tampa and Boston. Boston at 56-46, and they're finally starting to play a little bit of inspired baseball. They've got an 8-2 record in their last 10 games. They're starting to play play how they should be playing. That's got some talent on that team. They just haven't showed it. Tampa Bay 9.5 back after a great start. Blue Jays are 27 out. The Orioles are 32.5 games back. I saw Buck Showalter working on a telecast the other night. Now, I didn't hear. Did he quit or get fired?
I haven't
he was
heard.
Working on TV. I don't think he'd quit, not in the middle of a season. Breaking pitches, a strike, strike 2.
That wouldn't be like him anyway.
It'd be like anybody. You don't do that. First place, if you quit, you don't get paid. If you get fired, you still get paid. Here's a kick and the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled in the batter's box. Pretty happy in the Twin Cities. They got the beautiful new ballpark and a very good baseball club leading the Central Division, 61-38 the record. Not near as big a lead as it was. The Indians have really picked things up at 58-42. 8 wins, 2 losses in their last 10 ball games. That was at one time like an 11-game lead, but it's down to 3.5. And the 1-2 pitch. Change up, pulled foul down the left line. White Sox are 11 games back. The Royals are 20 games back. Detroit Tigers waiting for next year in spring training down in Lakeland, Florida. They're 25 back. The Astros, a 6.5 game lead on the Oakland A's in the West Division. The Angels are 12 back despite having the best player in the game in Trout. Texas is 13 back, and the Seattle Mariners 24.5 games off. Pitch is a called third strike, and you got one away.
Very nice pitch. Down on the outside part of the plate, right where he wanted it.
And Tito Jones will be the batter. Men at first and second base, and one gone here. We're in the middle innings of the ball game tonight, in the top of the fifth. He's the guy that hit that ball to left field that bounced in front of Blahoek, and then it got by him for hitting an error. And he got a run batted in on the play. Fastball misses outside from Zach Harrington out of Magnolia, Arkansas. His folks were up here a few weeks ago. They told me it's about an hour out of Little Rock, Arkansas. And here's the 1-0 pitch. High and wide, ball 2.
When they were up here, it was a little cool. And
well, this night tonight, this is probably like an Arkansas winter night.
Well, that's right, and that's what they said. It was more like winter down there. We've had a number of parents come up and watch the boys play and enjoy Edmonton.
Just wish we could have given you better weather, but
boy, isn't that the truth?
It has just been a terrible, terrible summer. The Atlanta Braves at 60-42, and a 5.5 game lead in the East Division. Washington Nationals are 5.5 games back. And here's the 2-0 pitch. High and outside, ball 3. The Phillies are 6.5 out. The Mets 13 back. And the Marlins are 21.5 games off the pace in the cellar in the Eastern Division of the National League. And the automatic is in and over. Go to 3-1. Well, the Cubs got a 1-game lead on the St. Louis Cardinals. 2.5 back the Milwaukee Brewers. There you could pretty much throw a blanket over the top 3 clubs. Reds are 7.5 game out, and the Pirates are 8 games back. That pitch missed, I guess, low. It looked like it was down the middle, but low. Ball 4.
Must have been low. Here it is. Yeah, it was down.
And Freddie Walker is the batter. Runners on, Colton Wright at third, Colin Klingensmith at second base. Tito Jones draws the walk, he's at first. 1 gone in the inning. Freddie Walker tonight 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. And the pitch to him is a breaking ball strike, 0-1.
And what the prospects here are looking for is a double play ball. Keep the ball down.
Go to 0-2. Edmonton is going to dispatch a fresh arm down to the bullpen. Got a right-hander. Is just starting to throw off the mound. Harrington went right at him on an 0-2 count. He didn't waste a pitch. He threw him a strike and is fouled away.
Harrington lately has been a closer for this ball club since they moved Berg into the starting rotation. Well, therefore, he'll only go a couple innings, maybe 3 at the most.
Ground ball to the left side. This is Ramirez, and the long throw across the diamond is in time to get the job done. They started the runners. There wasn't a play at second. So Colton Wright comes in to score. Killingsmith moves on to third, Jones to second. And a run batted in for Freddie Walker, 2 away.
It was actually a good play by Javier Ramirez because he never would have got the man at second, and he just looked and then let her go right over and caught him at first. Funny how those slow ones out. You can't make the play at home, and you can't make the play at second, so you have to go to
make
first
a play.
That's
get
right.
Out.
Get the one. Get what you can.
Makes it a 5-2 ball game as Jordan Blundell makes his way out to the mound. He's not going to be pulling his pitcher, not right now. The relief pitcher hasn't enough time to get loose. And it's going to take a little longer tonight to get loose than it did last night.
Sure will.
The .353 batter, Austin Soika. Ground out his first time through and got a base hit in the third inning. And an infield hit his last time out.
And now they're just putting him on. They just put him down to first base with an automatic walk.
Big A Garcia is the batter. Of course, you don't have to throw him 4 wide ones anymore. You can just point your finger towards first base. That's been talked about for a long, long time, and now they're doing it. And I have a mixed emotion on that.
I do too. I've seen too many
What's
times.
the difference? I guess it speeds it up.
It speeds the game up, there's no question. But I've also seen it where somebody will step over and slap a ball out into the opposite field.
Out of a ball and a strike, 1-1. And the pitch is fouled away. Remember in the World Series back in the mid-70s, Johnny Bench was the batter. Pitcher, the A's pitcher had fallen behind 3-0. Or no, it was 3-2 was the count. Dick Williams came out and he just pointed towards first base. He walked away. And the catcher, and I'm just trying to remember who it was, Dave Duncan. He was in it. He can't leave his catcher's box. He has to stay there, but he did point towards first base. Pitcher wound up. Duncan went back into his crouch, and they threw him a strike. Got Bench looking. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Garcia. Bases are loaded. A run has come in to score. It's a lead of 5, or a lead of 3. It's a 5-2 ball game here in the top half of the 5th inning. And here's Harrington's delivery. Tied his man up with a fastball and it's fouled away. Garcia tonight reached base in the fielder's choice. He got a run batted in on the play. Struck out looking. And he bounced one back off to the right of the mound for a ground ball out. The ball is cued foul of third base, right off the head of the bat.
Now, Harrington's throwing a lot of pitches in this inning, but most of them have been strikes. A lot of fouls.
One-two pitch is on the way. This on the hands. Lifted foul off the left side and into the seats. Neither the pitcher nor the hitter giving up on this particular encounter. Harrington has thrown strikes with a 2-strike count.
He is doing so, and it's a very good at bat for the batter.
All right, here comes the 1-2 delivery, and that ball is belted out into left field. That'll be an opposite field single. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Blahovic trips on the wet grass. And a 3rd run is going to come in, and it'll score. That'll be an error charged. Klingensmith scores easily from third base. Tito Jones right behind him from second. Those are earned runs. Austin Stoika will come to score on an E7. And that'll be a 2-run single for P.J. Garcia. That was a frozen rope to the opposite field.
It really was, and the irony of it is Harold just about got up there to it. Made a nice attempt on it. That was a hard hit ball.
The 8th batter up in the inning, and this is Nolan Ratai on a 2-for-3 night. Breaking ball is in the dirt, ball 1. They'd like to finish this inning with Harrington on the bump and go to the new reliever for the 6th inning. There's the ball that scooted down into the left field gap. And Blahovic drifts over. Timed his dump just perfectly. He's had a rough night out there, but he made a nice fielding play on that bullet hit out into left field.
He has on the replay. He got up in the air, and you know he's breathing a sigh of relief. That was not a good inning for him. And ball players can have those innings.
3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 man left to board. 4.5 innings are through tonight. And this is Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. On to the last of 5, and Katsu Takahashi up there takes a strike, 0-1. Katsu tonight batting left-handed is 0 for 1. He's bounced out. Shows the bunt, and he takes a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Takahashi, Tanner Roundy, and Pierce Blahovic do up in the inning. 8-2 ball game. Medicine Hat in the lead. Is that a new pitcher into the game?
It could be, huh?
No, I think that's Cervantes, a 6'2" right-hand pitcher.
That's him, number 6.
The kick and the 2-2 delivery out of the full windup, and he misses high. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
We've talked about this.
This is a big
before.
pad for this pitcher now. He can throw strikes.
He can. And
6-run lead. And that's just what he doesn't do. Throws the pitch down and away. Takahashi is aboard. Fairness to the pitcher, Takahashi is not a real big strike zone to work with.
No, he gets in a little bit of a crouch, and he's not a tall man at all, so you end up with a small strike zone. But when you have a 6-run lead, you got some things you can play with. You can pitch with confidence.
You can throw strikes. Being down that many runs this late in the game, you really don't have to worry much about a running game. Takahashi goes out of his secondary lead into his primary lead with 1 foot out on the carpet. Pitches a big slow deuce, a swing and a miss. 0-2.
Here comes the rain again.
And the 0-2 delivery, down and away. Next telecast Saturday night, we'll have it for you about 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. With the Fort McMurray Giants, who have gone into a late season swoon. They've lost 5 straight, went into Saskatchewan for a whole week. Didn't fare very well. They're playing Lethbridge tonight. Lethbridge won their series opener last night by a 6-1 margin. And the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, hard hit down to third base. Killingsmith is in with it. On to Rattay off second base, and he relays it up the line to first. Ball was hit so hard, it was a good fielding play, but that made it possible to turn and around the horn double play.
It sure did. Very hard hit ball. Now to the top of the order, and Pierce Blahovic.
Reached base on an error in the first inning, drew a base on ball, and came around to score in the third inning. It's 1 ball and no strikes to him. Pretty much sure we'll have a new pitcher coming in for the 6th inning as you see that rain continuing to pour down. Fastball upstairs, ball 2.
On that first pitch, it almost looked to me like Pierce was looking at going to bunt.
Big high leg kick from the right-hand pitcher. He throws a fastball in on the fists. The ball's popped up into short right center field. Drifting on in is Freddie Walker to make the catch, and that'll retire the side here in the last half of 5. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 6th inning is up and coming. It's an 8-2 lead for the Mavericks. Prospects baseball on ICU video. New pitcher into the ball game will be Scott Gillespie. Big 6'4" right-handed pitcher. 1 1/3 innings pitching tonight for Zach Harrington as he comes in after the injury to the starter, Jesse Ponawazic. 4 hits tonight, 1 strikeout for Zach Harrington. 2 base on balls. And he surrenders 3 runs, 4 runs, and 2 of them earned. And Gillespie, the new pitcher.
Now, in that time, Zach Harrington threw 37 pitches, 28 of them for strikes. He got hit pretty hard.
Gillespie, Sherwood Park ball player, he said 6'4", 205 pounds. Attends Arkansas Monticello College. Makes his 10th relief appearance on the year. 8 innings, 17 hits, 11 runs, 4 earned runs, 7 base on balls, 6 strikeouts. Leads his man off with a strike. And a 4.50 earned run average, Scott Gillespie. Again, the totals for Harrington, 1 1/3 tonight, 4 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits, 1 strikeout, and 2 base on balls. And that pitch is outside. We go to 1-1. Sal Rodriguez, the batter up to lead things up. Big mountain of a man.
He sure is. He got a lot of power. Played first base last night. Got pretty good footwork.
Puts the ball into play. A lazy one hopper wide of third base. Edgar Harrell there to grab it. Throws a little off target, but Barrett digs it out of the dirt, and you got one away. Colton Wright is the batter.
Big handles on that. Harrell handled it very well. Good throw.
Wright 2 for 3 tonight, and he's plated 2 runs. No, nice job behind the plate both games. He's a good receiver. Got a nice, accurate arm.
Accurate arm, and he controls the plate very well. And
Fastball down the middle, strike 1.
The other thing he does, he's got a good throw to first base. He stays in that crouch, bang, he gets it down there. A lot of catchers can do that accurately.
Count is even at a ball and a strike with the rain coming down here in the 6th inning tonight. We're just shy of the 2-hour mark, 1 hour and 50 minutes. Crowd here tonight at 1,053. That in itself is amazing in this tough weather conditions. A lot of them done on luxury boxes where you at least be out of the weather. So that's better than 3,200 fans over the last 2 nights. Double the attendance when the weather was decent. Pitch is swung on and it's missed. A breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Colton Wright. That's a fastball, and that's going to get him right on the outside corner.
Really good pitch.
Klingensworth, the batter. He scored 2 runs tonight. He got a pair of hits. Drew a base on ball his first time through. Got stranded at third base. Rain started coming down about the second inning. It subsided for a little bit about the fourth inning. And back here in the sixth. Half swing and a foul tip, strike one.
And that wind has not subsided at all, Al. It makes it harder out there in the field.
As you can see, Gillespie doesn't work out of a windup. He works fully out of a set position. There's a lot of fastballs there. He threw one inside and down. One ball and one strike with two out and the base is empty. Hard hit ground ball past Barrett at third base and into right field. He was playing wide of the bag. He had one play, and that was to dive, and he just wasn't able to get to it.
He couldn't, and you know, it's a good hard hit ball, tough to play.
That's a 3-hit night here for Klingensmith. And Cameron Polk will be the batter. I think Harrington needs a tongue depressor so he can get the mud out of his cleats.
Well, that's exactly it. And I mean Gillespie.
Gillespie.
And definitely do. You don't want to be slipping on the mound. Made sure he's dug himself a little bit of a hole on the edge of that pitcher's box and force off it. Nice job by Jake Gary on that pitch. That ball easily could have gone to the backstop and would have got the runner to second.
Here's Gillespie's delivery, down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Harrington tonight, an inning in the third. Out of the middle, 4 runs, 2 earned unofficially on 4 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 base on balls. And here's the 2-0 delivery. There he finds the strike zone. High hopper hit towards short. This is Ramirez on to Takahashi, and that'll do it here in the top half of the 6th inning. Ground ball right when they needed it, and I do mean needed it.
Oh, it did. Perfect spot. Now we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. If this rain keeps going like this, Al, they might call this game. The umpires are coming off the field now.
Let's go down to Tyler Yaremchuk.
Hey guys, definitely keep an eye on the possible rain here. It looks like the umpires are actually heading towards the prospect dugout, but I did talk to a member of the medical team about 20 minutes ago for an update on Jesse Ponawazuk. He was hit in the head with a line drive earlier in the game. The news around him is actually encouraging right now. They told me the swelling has gone down, the nausea has subsided. If I'm using the direct quote from the medical person, they described it as a killer freaking headache right now. They don't want to use the word concussion right now because obviously it's still very early, but the good news is it sounds like there's nothing too serious. They're still debating if they're going to send him to the hospital for a CT scan, though. And they're bringing out the tarps right now, so I guess I'll send it back up to you guys, and it looks like we're going into a rain delay.
I think you would be correct on that. The rain is coming down. We're looking at going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's a runaway ball game, an 8-2 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, so we will go into a rain delay. So pull up a stool, knock the roof off a cold one, and we will be back with more when we can from Remax Field.
Well, as you can see, I'm standing on the field surrounded by a whole bunch of tarps, and it sounds like it's going to stay that way for now. The official word after meeting between the 2 teams and the umpires is that they're going to give it 15 more minutes. The rain has lightened up ever so slightly, but they think that if it stays at about this level, in about 15 minutes, they'll be okay to play ball again. So we're still in a rain delay. We're going to wait it out 15 more minutes, and then we'll have official word on if we're going to resume this game from the bottom of the 6th or if we're going to see it moved until another date.
Well, we are back at Remax Field in Edmonton. They gave it the good old college try, but as you can see, some days they just don't pay to get out of bed. The clubs came out, they took the tarps off, they tried to get it going, but back comes the rain, so we'll give you the final totals in the ball game tonight. For the Prospects, 2 runs on 4 hits, a sloppily played game, 4 errors, 2 men left. For the Mavericks, 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and 7 left on base. Picking up the win tonight in adverse conditions, he threw a whale of a ball game. That is Jamin Cervantes, a 5-inning distance, 2 earned runs on 3 hits. He struck out 4, he walked a batter. He'll improve his record to 4-3. A tough night for Jesse Ponawasic. Got hit with a hard comebacker, and we certainly hope he's doing better. He went a 3 2/3 inning distance tonight, 4 runs, 3 earned, 6 hits, a strikeout, 2 base on balls. He'll suffer his first loss of the year, and he'll go to 0-1. That's the most important thing, that Mr. Ponawasic is going to live for another day of baseball.
That's the most important thing. He took a heck of a shot, and we hope he's doing all right.
So with the victory, Medicine Hat improves to 23-21. The Prospects fall to 21-23. Now we'll see what happens in Fort McMurray tonight. It was the middle innings, it'll be the late innings by now. They were trailing by a pile of runs. We'll find out about that, I guess, tomorrow morning. The Prospects with just not a whole lot of luck with the weather, and they lose a rain-shortened ball game tonight. Again, the final tally was 8-2. The Prospects with a day off tomorrow. It'll be in Okotoks on Friday night. We'll be back here Saturday night and Sunday afternoon with that 2-game series of the Fort McMurray Giants. Get underway about 10-7 on Saturday night. And as you can see again, it's just no chance to get the ball game in tonight. We thank you very much for your patience from the ballpark here at Remax Field in Edmonton. And we will return Saturday night, 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. Good night, everybody, from Remax Field.